The time has come for me to turn on another light because it's dim in here because it's autumn. Autumn in Canada. So damned. Okay. So basically, the state of video, video download, video integration, exactly what I called it on today's task, is that many of the components are there, and I just need to make them all work together. And there's, some UI improvements that probably need to be made, but arguably that's less urgent. And I go straight to a download that doesn't have any video in it because I'm an idiot. I have to make this switch back to saying loading when you do that. Okay. So, I haven't actually... Oh, you know what? One of the major things I haven't tested in a while is that I don't even currently have it on the correct version of libav.js. Don't like the fact that those are both broken links, but whatever. This is not some kind of internal testing version, but I used a different configuration, so just to make sure that it doesn't have caching issues, I gave it a different name with a different configuration. Well, something happened. I don't like the fact that at the end it crashed, but we'll get there. Oh, it wasn't at the end that it crashed. Hello, Joey. It crashed in a non-functioning state, it would appear. Let me set no redirect on so it doesn't redirect when it crashes. Ooh, that's quite ugly. Okay, I'm going to need the non-minified version if I have any hope of achieving anything here. Download processor. Oh, the download choose what? This must just be, yeah, okay, that's just what received the error message. I was like, there's no way that the download chooser had that issue. Well, that's... I probably just called ffFreeMuxer incorrectly now that I think about it. Probably have enough data there to... that feels correct. Format context and the PB. Let me remind myself of the correct signature. Oh, that's not the place to remind me of the correct signature. FreeMuxer. Yeah, takes the output context and the IO context. Format context PB. I knew it was right at the end because it got to 100% before it crashed. I mean, this actually is all the information I'm going to get about this error message because it's frickin' workers. I need to fix all these deprecated things I'm using too, but that's not crucial. Null function or function signature mismatch within AVIO close. I mean, did I open this muxer in a weird way? Did I not open this muxer at all? Do I not have a muxer somehow? Does init muxer not return how I think it does? Is that where I'm screwing up? Muxeder. Aha! I'm an imbecile. Yeah, it returns the format as well as the context, so this is supposed to have that. Hard refresh. So far looks pretty good. Don't like how long FFProbe took there, but we're just going to call that A-OK. Yeah, that should be the format that the video recording was in, and FLAC is the format that I requested the audio recording in, so the question is, does this look right? Hello, SpecLad. So I should indeed, yep, I have black screen before I get to the actual recording. The video stops when I stop it. More precisely, that font, Joey, is the PetMe 64 font. It's the Commodore 64 font adopted, adapted, improved for modern times. So it's the Commodore 64 font in places where Commodore 64 has an appropriate item, and then like the box drawing stuff, I think, is lifted predominantly from DOS, and then the other stuff is just sort of invented to be the same style as the Commodore 64. So it's actually a Commodore 64 font, but of course, broadly similar style. The reason why it's called PetMe 64, SpecLad, is that the Commodore PET was the original system that used that code page, to use the ancient terminology, and so the sort of internal, I don't know if it was ever official, but the name for it is PETSCII, because it's ASCII, but as interpreted on the PET. And Commodore 64 and such also have that. So there's like the original PetMe font is just exactly the Commodore PET. PetMe 64 is the PETSCII code page, but it's the Commodore 64 font. Okay, so let's see. FF Reader dev waiting is indeed deprecated. And it's only in use here. This is no longer the correct way to do this. Let me just adapt however I'm doing this with the decoder so I can do the same thing. Okay. Got some shared readers. Oh, how interesting. Something didn't occur to me. It so didn't occur to me that it requires this voice for some reason. Now that I think about it, Commodore made PET, then Amiga. They don't. If they didn't fold, what kind of human companion would they move on to next? At Speclad, Commodore AI girlfriend. So I just realized I said something occurred to me and I never said what it was. So theoretically, we use unshared instances of libav, so that just for efficiency, so that I have multiple workers working. Uh, but if we go over to where I create those instances of libav, if I don't have much memory, then I create a single shared instance of libav. And so if I overwrite on read here, that's a problem. So I'm going to need to handle the shared readers. I think the best way to do this would be to handle the shared readers in the central libav component rather than, well, anywhere else. I'll bet the chunk size is, yeah, not related to the reading. Of course it's not related to the reading. I have no control over what size chunk I read. It just gets read. Now, I actually want one shared readers per libav. So a shared readers, that's not a confusing sequence of words, is, I'll just copy this, exactly this map. And a shareable libav is a libav instance in which we have an optional shared readers field. And I'll just keep it on the libav itself. Now, what have I done? Oh, here's the previous file. On read can be set up here instead of there. Be careful. I only want to do this once. Okay, so this should be done here. A little bit of type manipulation. Okay. Now I don't need this here. I just need this here, like so. Return await is redundant. Right, and this is no longer a promise of that. It is a promise of a shareable libav. this at least compiles before I... Oh, this isn't going to compile because I haven't finished making the changes to the decoder. Yeah. Ah, but there are problems here. Ah, yeah, okay. Problems such as, I named this EC shared readers. Since I don't actually own, well, I mean, I own the libav instance, obviously, but since I do not, this project does not own the API of that project, adding a prefix to get some sort of guerrilla namespacing seems like a good idea to me. Okay, so now it's on that, shared readers, which is definitely set. Okay, so that way I'm not fighting over on read, and everything can have its own on read. And now I don't have to worry about sharing. Okay, so when we make the reader device, that is when we need to set up this shared reader, which is going to look pretty similar. Yes, in fact, it's going to look identical once I do this. I'm going to call this vinput just to make absolutely sure I don't accidentally conflict with anything else. This is now not needed. And anywhere that had flush reader dev, I just don't need that. I just don't need that at all. Why did that happen multiple... Oh, that happens multiple times because I need to, like, read in blank... Yeah, it's just a complicated thing about video reading. Or about this offset video reading, anyway. Ask away. No promises that I'll answer. Okay, so that's reader dev waiting, read multi, probably the same thing. Oh, interesting, I have it in both still. So the problem is that MP2 is this, like, MP2 as a file name really doesn't imply very much, and it can be a MPEG-2 program stream, or it can be taken to mean either a bare stream with MPEG-1 part 3 layer 2 audio, or it can be an MPEG-2 program stream that might have MPEG-2 video and could very well have MPEG-3 audio, and technically can even carry MPEG-2 AAC audio. The thing is that MP2 as a file name virtually means nothing, and it's completely legitimate to use that file name for an MPEG-2 program stream. Yes, so the actual, like, except for having headers for MPEG-2 stream types, the actual, like, format specification is the same as MPEG-1, yeah, except that because it is part of the MPEG-2 document, like, it's perfectly reasonable to expect it to have MPEG-2, like, it has the necessary, header information to have MPEG-2 AAC in an MPEG-2 program stream, because AAC is MPEG-2. So it's, basically, file names suck, is the long story short. File names suck. You could just name it .bin, but like a .mp3 file is pretty much always going to be a bare MPEG-1 layer 3 stream, whereas a .mp2 file could be any of like 70 different things and could easily have AAC data in it. Oh, I've definitely seen an MPEG-2 program. So I think the context in which I've seen an MPEG-2 program stream named .mp2, probably the only context that I'm certain I've seen that in was a DVD ripper. Was yeah. Wait, am I misread? Are DVDs even MPEG-2? Thanks for not autofilling Wikipedia. DVD video. Yeah, MPEG-2, that's what I thought. Anyway, so I remember seeing the name MP2 in that context, because so often MPG is, like, people assume it is an MPEG-1 file. Okay. So I've never witnessed in the wild a .mp2 file with AAC audio in it. All I was saying there is, like, that's legal, technically speaking, that you could experience .mp2 actually being better than MP3, because, like, names are dumb. Okay, that's the only one here. Okay, were those the only two things? No. Yeah, so that is, like, I think I learned that AAC, there was an MPEG-2 AAC when I wrote that rant. Because I also would have said it was MPEG-4. The thing is, and the thing that makes it so, like, the timeline so complicated is that, like, MPEG, among the many evil things that they do, they have this habit of, like, they release a standard and then they keep on just appending to that standard, and then eventually they go, okay, now it's a new standard. And so, like, MPEG-2, when MPEG-2 dropped, there was no AAC. They just later tacked AAC onto MPEG-2. And so you can't reasonably say, so, like, what does MPEG-2 mean? Is it just the things that were in the actual release of MPEG-2? Or is it, MPEG 2.1 where they plunked AAC onto it? So, yeah. And similarly, like, MPEG-4 video was DivX, but then they added H.264, but they added that to the existing thing. Okay, no warning messages there. looks good. Error while seeking is expected since this is a just a streamed file. In fact, I probably can tell the WebM to be a little bit stream happier, but simplistic video. Yeah, I mean, I've complained many times about the stupid, this is advanced as part of the name, which is the same as the telescope problem. The large telescope, the very large telescope, the really quite large, and we mean it this time, telescope. Okay. Next thing next, I guarantee you that if I choose no here, then it's not going to work. That's so much worse than I mean, I didn't expect it to work. I said it's not going to work, but this is so much worse than I expected it to be. That is in the processor. It's within here. Oh, wait, what is the context? Okay, add rec track, but this should not... Let me just console.log the track, because I'll bet that it's passing a non-recording track here, because I don't... the video tracks that are just bare video without the muxed audio, I named video rec instead of just rec. So I'm betting it's the wrong kind of track. That whole iframe, yeah, okay, type video. Expected. That whole iframe there is just so much, so busted. Okay, so add rec track. Yeah, I should have actually checked that it is specifically rec rather than, well, if it's not any of these things, it's probably rec. Do I even have... Okay, I see. That's a video track description. I do have the thingy thing here. A video track should be relatively straightforward insofar as I literally just have to fetch it. Should I do the video? I guess I should do the video timing. Really, morally, I should do the video timing. So let me actually start with this. None of this makes any sense. This can't be an array. This is an array. Why is this an array? Is this actually an array, or did I just hallucinate that it's an array? It is an array. Am I... What was the rationale for this being an array? Right, I create... Okay. It's one track, but it might be multiple video files just because you can stop and restart recording and such, and those are going to be separate video files. So that is not incorrect. I will fix the indentation here. To make sure that the names don't conflict. This doesn't exist. That will exist. Streams is now a bit simpler because the only stream is going to be the video input. I don't think that ops.onProgress is a thing. Oh, of course, yeah. The ops.onProgress absolutely is a thing because that's the global options, not the track-specific options. Good. I do have an off by one somewhere. Doesn't really matter since I've removed a bunch of cases. Blammo. See how badly that botched the indentation. Nothing too bad. Looks pretty good. Now this is a bit distressing here. Yeah, I don't have, let's see. Wait, what the? Oh, of course, duh, that's video info. I do have a file name here. Maybe I just go with that file name. That makes sense. This is going to have a extension already on it, which I'm going to botch. So this is not the right decision. Let's make a name for itself. I will actually keep the track number there. And then I will add videoinfo.name And right now, this is going to have 2 extensions, I suspect, which is not great, but easily fixed if that's the problem. So I have a muxer. The muxer just has the video input. The video input is the video timer, right? Yes. So I've got the file system fetch into the video timer. To pop is not a thing in this context. Oh, yeah, I have to pop that. Fine. But there's only one thing to pop, so I don't need to be so complicated about it. This is popping the cork, not popping something from a queue. You don't pop things from a queue, from a stack. How we doing? Whee! Interesting. How resilient is the video timer processor against obviously incorrect durations? So the question is, am I checking the blank count, or am I checking that blank count is greater than 0? I'm just checking the blank count, so I am an imbecile. Max of what we calculated here, and 0. Do not request more than 0 blank counts. That actually could have even, just by like being off by a frame, that could have caused absolute madness in the original too. Oh wait, I didn't actually fix this, so I will set 0 as the duration, the effect of which should be that it just doesn't add any blank at the end to like fill it out to the duration. Because filling it out to the duration is very important when you're muxing together like a proper file, utterly unimportant when you are just, just presenting that one video track and nothing else. But apparently there are many other places where I use these. 391. Oh, of course, I don't have the track number at all. I am going to have this be a variable because I suspect that I'm going to need to change it. I'm going to need to remove the suffix. It's too bad I don't know the track number in this context. Yeah, I guess I just don't know the track number, period. Well, I must know the track number somewhere. Surely I must know the track number somewhere. Do I know it in vidinf? Vidinfo, rather. Video info, rather. ID track. Is track just a number? Yes, okay. I didn't use that at all. Still trying to use the duration in places. Why does the muxer processor need the duration? I definitely don't have the video duration in Video info. Yeah, because I don't know the video duration from there. Okay, where does the muxer care about the duration? I think that's it, actually. Yeah. So, like, certain formats, namely FLAC, need to know the duration to even create a correct file. But there's certainly no need to... What have I done? There's certainly no need to set the duration if you don't know it. What is going on? Did I open this in View instead of Vim? Is that what's going on? Yes. Okay, so I can just send 0 as the duration again. Ah, of course. I don't know the track's duration, so I can't do on progress there. I'll just not do on progress there. That will be fine. Didn't I call it VF? VF? FS fetch processor. Pretty sure an FS fetch processor is corkable. Did I misremember? I guess not. I probably just missed explicitly making the corkable processor. VF? What did I botch? What did I botch? Because this was corkable here. FS fetch, VF. Did I shadow VF or something? Yeah, it is specifically a corkable processor. Wait. I'll bet this takes an array of things to pop. That's all. I'll bet. I know this takes an array of things to pop. I gotta actually read the error messages rather than just looking at the line and going, I'm just going to intuit about that line and then I'll do it right. Even though my intuition is usually good, it does often take more time. Okay, so what's up with this? Tracks is a track description, and a track description does not include video track.
Oh, of course it would be ISMV. Why wouldn't it be ISMV? It should be ISMV, because there's just a .mp4 file. But this is obviously botched. It shouldn't be complaining that much. So this will actually be a .mp4 file, probably named horrifically .mkv.mp4. .mkv.mp4, there it is. Oh, that is super duper botched. This isn't gonna play. Oh, well, it kind of plays. I see the timestamps are all just haywire. Yeah, okay. So timestamps went high, but like relatively speaking, if the only problem is that the timestamps went haywire, like this is just plain working.
Let me, just by way of testing, see if it's just an ISMV problem, because ISMV is hell. ISMV is just a name for streaming MP4 files, by the way. And ISMV definitely is hell, because MP4 was never meant to be a streamable format. It is like a final render format, not a streaming format. Still made ISMV. Wait, what did I just do? I did that in the muxed version, not the unmuxed version. I just want to see if I'm muxing it into Matryoshka, if it's correct there. Because if it's correct there, then I know that it's just an ISMV-specific problem, and I can search for an ISMV-specific solution. I know I did do some weird crap about timestamps with ISMV, so I probably just did it wrong. Or more likely, the way that I have updated libav is not compatible with that fix. .mkv.mkv, normal file name. So naturally, don't know the duration because this file was streamed, but it should. I guess just because it was streamed, like, I'm just noticing how when I seek, I'm getting a lot of stuff appearing, but I suspect that's just streaming madness. Let me copy it out of this wackadoo streamed file and just make sure that the actual data looks good. Oh. What? I'm more confused than ever. The actual data looks fine. I guess it's just something about how it's seeking. But that's not actually that important. Unable to rewrite FLAC header. Dear God. Okay. Where are we? Yeah, so let's look at the ISMV stuff. See if I can make a guess as to what's wrong with it. The very next thing that I find that has ISMV is where it changes the timestamps, and I'm just going to remove that and see if it's actually fine. I suspect that. So one of the things I improved in libav between writing the original audio-only downloader and the current downloader is how it moves timestamps through steps like muxing. So it's possible that I fixed it upstream, and my upstream fix breaks the downstream use. The very fact that that didn't give me any nasty gram error messages seems pretty good to me. Oh yeah, this is fine.
Should blink in. Yep, it's playing at the right speed.
LGTM, LGTM.
Okay, so that just means that this isn't needed anymore. Hooray. The best commits remove code. Absolutely 100% true. Now, what does that leave me to do in terms of actual problems to be, so I didn't actually remake after, before refreshing the page? Yeah, what problems remain to be solved? Let me see what happens if I really push it to the upper limit of madness and beyond. Both, 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 both. MPEG 4 AAC. Go. Cool. Boy, howdy, am I not going to remember off the top of my head what Erno 20 is. Is there a fast way for me to determine what Erno 20 is on Emscripten or on WASI? Okay, I flew too close to the sun there. Let me not try to both everything. I'll just both something. Or I'll go one option at a time. So I've already tried this both. I'm going to try MPEG 4 AAC with no other changes. I want to try MPEG 4 AAC because I want to see it mux an MP4 file that actually has multiple tracks, that's all. I guess I can believe that DTS. And yeah, I should have set delay move. Look at that. Same error message. What an interesting amount of unhappiness. Let me try just getting MP4 without even fetching the video. Just don't download the video. Okay, so that at least kind of works. Oops. Anyway. Yep. Okay. But when I attempted to mux it, was it the muxing of the video data and audio data into ISMV that made it vomit? No. It was somehow both that made it vomit. I should have tried flak with both first, because I confused multiple things. Didn't I try both? I guess I didn't try both, did I? Yeah, this is okay. So it's actually a much lesser problem than I thought it was. It's the both button. Interesting. Both is like the implementation of both here is really simple. It just adds multiple tracks, but doesn't stop me from effing it up, does it? If it's an error no error, error no 6 is E again, so it's not an E again sneaking through somehow. Could it be while it is re-decoding? Could it be on the input? Like while it's re-decoding, or while it's re-fetching the video? It probably will generate the same name. But there really shouldn't be any overlap, like, temporally between them, so it's hard to imagine how it would, like, request an old on read or something. It's so annoying that all I'm getting is this. It's just like something happened, all your base belong to us level of information. We get signal. Yeah, if it's an error no error, it has to be coming from the reading or the writing. The writing seems almost impossible for that to be causing the error. So let's focus on the reading. Probably be the last fix I make, but even if it is the last fix I make, we've made fantastic progress because other than some like user interface fix-ups, this is like after getting this working, if all of the options here work, that's what I'm attempting to say, then there's very little else to be done. No error during reading. I guess I never deleted the read ahead file. So okay, it's not a read ahead file. The device, like I'm actually using probably the same device file. Of course, FLAC support. Not only FLAC support, but if you go here and you download it in the Audacity project format, it is an Audacity project with FLAC, so your options are FLAC, or garbage. I am actually more of a fan of Wavepack than FLAC, but don't tell the FLAC people. can I test this theory?
Oh, this is actually, it's a bit more insidious than I anticipated.
Dev send. So if you send it null, then it sets EOF to true. There is nothing that sets EOF to false. The only thing that ever sets EOF to false is when it creates a fresh read buffer. So what deletes read buffers? Nothing. Oh god, I fucked this up so bad. Yes, okay. I 1,000,000% know what the problem is. I guess I should explain, so long as I'm saying I 1,000,000% know what the problem is. There is a single read buffer. So like a streaming reader device is a character device. So there is a single pipe of information going through it. But unlike a real character device, where an EOF is an event, in libav, an EOF is once and for all. And that was the right decision at the time because it's acting like a file, it's really just supposed to be an actual media file, not like a Unix stream in the classic sense. But the consequence is, because I have no way of saying, okay, I'm done with this read buffer, recreate it, make me a new fresh read buffer, it's just like keeping the old EOF status around, and so I just get an instant EOF. So that's exactly what's happening. And 20 is probably just EIO or something. EIO. The solution to that is to make it not so frickin' broken in libav itself. This is the fault of bad design in libav itself. When I make a block reader device, I create the read buffer, but for some mind-bogglingly stupid reason, when I create a normal reader device, I don't create it there. I mean, that is plain stupid, is what that is. That's like... Gee willikers. Let me actually get an example of a non-block read buffer. And then up where I'm doing... Yeah, look at that. Make reader... it just ignores it. Oh, that's cute. So if there was already a read buffer, when you create a new device file, it doesn't matter. You should just replace it with a fresh read buffer. And as a consequence, on top of that, everywhere that checks for the existence of the read buffer doesn't really need to, because if you created the file, it should be there. And that should be adequate. So this just isn't necessary. If you try to send to a reader device and it isn't a reader device, then there's no reason for it to Like, this is madness. It shouldn't do any of that, so... Similarly here. Okay. Not quite as catastrophic as I thought that it was, but still quite stupid. If I had Inscription loaded, that would probably work better. Still 3169. I really just want to compile this to make sure that that it compiles. I just changed the reader devices. I should make sure that it at least like parses. The versions are wrong. Why am I on some weird branch? What's happening here? Damn it. Didn't even mean to make changes to package lock, but whatever. Cool. Try again. Yeah, it compiled with the earlier version. I'm just going to commit this and let GitHub run the tests on it. Yeah. Okay, those tests will run on GitHub, and then I will need to test with that version. But that, I suspect, will fix this both issue. With that fixed, then generating multiples here, I doubt it'll have any issue. These are just different streams. It's not really that interesting. And then, yeah, we've already tested one at a time, so not much else to test here. Just a lot of UI to fix up. Well, that's it for today.